Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Municipality of Monroeville Zoning Hearing Board meeting for July 1st, 2020. Would you please all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and then remain standing for a moment of silence?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. You may be seated. Sharon, roll call, please.
Mr. Rosapel?
Here.
Mr. Grisiak?
Here.
Mr. D'Agostino?
Here.
Mr. Dice?
Yes.
Mr. Weldon?
Here.
Thank you. May I have a motion on the approval of minutes?
I approve.
Second.
Motion moved and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion is approved. Under new business, Paul, if you would, please.
First item, 20-7-A, James J. Herlinger. Applicant requests a variance from section 210 fences of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to construct a 6-foot tall solid fence in the front yard of the property that faces Knollwood Drive. The property address is 1343 Woodcliff Drive, tax parcel 980-B-23 in the R1 one-family residential zoning district.
Thank you. Is the applicant present? Would you come up to the microphone, please? Would you sign in, please? State your name for the secretary.
James J. Herlinger.
Would you raise your right hand, please? You swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
I do.
Present your case, please.
State my case?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I live on 1343 Woodcliff Drive, which happens to be a corner lot. The main front is facing Woodcliff, naturally, since that's my address. But the Knollwood side is where our back porch and patio is, and that goes into a cul-de-sac. And it gets tremendous amount of pedestrians up there and back and forth. They like to walk there all day, all night. And we go out in the patio and the porch area a lot, and it's only maybe 30 feet from the road. And also, vehicle-wise, there's a stop sign on the corner there, and anybody that lives up in that cul-de-sac, I don't think I've ever seen anyone stop at it. I contacted the police department several times, and they have been up policing it, and I think they've literally been talking to the residents and, telling them to, you better cool it going through there. And, we have 5 small grandchildren, and we have pets, and there's a bunch of little kids in the neighborhood, and I'm just really, it's just a matter of time something's going to happen. And a typical 4-foot fence, 50% transparency, would really do no good for the pets at all. And our grandkids are big enough they could climb over it too, and it wouldn't provide any privacy at all for us on our back porch or the patio. So that's why I'm requesting we can put a 6-foot, since to us it's really our backyard, even though the ordinance obviously calls it a front yard. But
We get a lot of those two-sided fronts and stuff.
right.
Paul, do we have any phone calls or letters or anything from
No
residents?
correspondence from anyone.
Okay. Do any of the members of the board have any questions?
Sir, the fence is just along the Knollwood side, just one stretch of fence?
No, it'll start off on, if you're looking at the front of the house, you'd be facing south. And on the east side, which would be, the east side would be the side.
Sorry.
We have a small piece coming off the side of the house. I think there was a drawing included in the package. Yeah, I had a drawing.
Yeah.
There's a small section comes off the east side, going to the east 16 foot. Then it goes back south 48 feet, I believe. Then it comes toward the Knollwood side, 112 feet. And then that would bring it up to 12 foot from the curb on the Knollwood side. Then it comes up north toward the patio area, I believe it's 24 feet, and it goes toward east, back toward the house, 40 feet.
So it's
the
on,
no-
how many sides of the house is it enclosing?
Pardon?
How many sides of the house is it enclosing?
Well, actually, all four, but it's not like on the Woodcliff side, it's not way up front. Yeah, there it is.
Hey Jerry, can you zoom in on that?
Maybe not.
There it is, give it a second.
Okay, so this is the Woodcliff side. I don't know if I'm in the way or not.
No, you're fine.
Okay, this is the Woodcliff. This is what I would call our real front out here. And starting off here, this is north up that way, so this would be the east side. So on the east side, we're gonna wanna come off the house here 16 foot, which is 67 feet back from the Woodcliff side. So I don't think there's an issue there with a 6-foot fence at all. Then we'd go south 48 feet, then west 112 feet, then back north, and that would bring us, like I show here, 12 foot from the curb. Then we'd come north 24 feet, and then 40 feet east back to the porch. This is our porch area here that
Okay.
we sit in quite a
Okay.
bit, and
Got it. Thank
patios
you.
in here.
This is the area that requires the variance.
Right.
Are you installing the fence yourself, or are you having the company?
No, I'm having it's called Pro Fence and Block or something like that. I think
Okay.
it is. They're out of Beaver County, I think.
Are your neighbors aware that you're putting the fence up?
Yeah, they're, my next neighbor right behind me is having them put a fence up also.
Okay.
And my neighbor to the east of me, he already has a 6-foot wooden privacy fence.
All right.
So, yeah, I know everybody now, they've never said anything to me about it. so.
Okay. Thank you.
We're neighbors here. We do have something to say about it.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions here?
No.
Somebody from the audience.
Is this a neighbor who just came in?
Yes, Guy sitting back there.
Ma'am, would you come for?
Oh.
Oh, okay.
So-
That's next. I didn't even know there's anybody else back there. Okay, that's all you have, sir?
That's all I have.
Bruce, anything? Okay, you may be seated.
Thank
Okay, anybody in the audience that has something, come on forward, please. Could you sign in, please?
Sure.
State your name for the secretary.
My name's Gordon Conn, C-O-N-N, and I live at 1336 Knollwood Drive. Not directly across the street from this project, but I can see it from my front yard.
Hey, would you raise your right hand, please? You swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Begin.
Yes, first of all, I'm not knowledgeable about what the rules are in terms of fencing. And I understand this is it the variance only from 4 to 6 feet? Or is it proximity to Knollwood Drive?
It's both.
It's both. Okay, I'm not necessarily opposed to a 6-foot fence, but I am opposed to it being right on the road there. Fact is, we live in a nice neighborhood, it's quiet, we don't, there aren't any other fences in the neighborhood that are that close to any of the roads. There are 3 roads, there aren't any fences, and it just doesn't seem very appealing in terms of from a visual standpoint. So I don't know, what the history of these types of things are, but I don't think it's something that. And I've talked to several neighbors. Maybe they don't feel as strongly as we do because we live right across the street from it. But I think it's going to be an eyesore to look at. And as far as pedestrian traffic, it has increased a little bit because of COVID. People are out in the streets walking. But for the most part, we live in an extremely quiet neighborhood. You can walk around there on a Saturday or Sunday and not see another soul. People now are walking their dogs and doing those things. As far as the stop sign, yeah, there's one family that had been blowing through the stop sign, but that's been corrected because the police were there to stop it. So there's very little vehicle traffic. As was said, we live on a cul-de-sac. So I'm opposed to it. Don't really, I mean, if it was moved back to the perimeter of the house, like most fences are in neighborhoods, where you look at the fence, it's in the backyard, not right in the, because it's a corner lot, it is really part of the front yard. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Anybody else? One more person behind you, you can back up. Just sign in, please. You state your name for the secretary?
Denise Shearer, Shearer, at 1332 Knollwood.
32.
Directly across. Okay.
Would you raise your right hand, please? You swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, I do.
Go ahead.
So, the concern would be, and we haven't talked, but the fence being 6 foot high seems high, although it does have a little bit of a grade going up, and that's why it seems like it might be a little bit higher than what we would normally look at for 6 feet going straight across. But also, I wasn't sure, and I had the idea that it wasn't, Jim can correct me, that it's solid? Is it like solid, or can you see through it?
Well, that's part of the variance, to be solid.
Okay, that's what I thought. And so that's where I'm kind of like, that's like looking at a solid fence wall, and as Gordon stated, there aren't fences that you see within the neighborhood. There is one fence that a neighbor does have, and it's, like where you can see through it, and they have actually like a screen to keep their pets and the grandchildren within the fence and in a safety zone. But it just seems to see the fence that close to it. And I get it, it's his backyard, but it faces our front yards. So that's kind of where the concern comes in. Well, that is where the concern comes in.
Okay.
That's it.
Thank you very much.
Can I make another statement?
Yeah, come on back up, please.
Okay, what they're referring to is they're on the Knollwood side, and I'm on the Woodcliff side. To me, that's our back and side yard. To them, it's their front yard because they're across the street. And like we have no privacy. We're in our backyard because the street's right there. And as far as vehicle traffic, just Sunday, they know it very well. Our neighbor was pulling out of his driveway and he had a heart attack. And he came up into our yard, right exactly where the fence would be, came plowing up there, knocked our maple tree out of the roots, knocked our corners off the porch, wiped out about 15 bushes, did probably $20,000-$30,000 damage. And he had a heart attack. When we got him out of the truck and that, he was basically dead. And we revived him and that. He's doing okay now, but just stuff like that can happen. So to us, it's not private, 'cause that's our backyard, and to them, that's their front yard, and if we moved it back any further, we'd be right on our porch, literally, if we met the 50 foot or whatever it is from the center of the road. I think it's 20, comes out to be about 50 foot. I mean, that would be right, it would actually be past our patio, so that would literally do us zero good. And a 4-foot fence would be useless too. I wouldn't even put it in for that. I mean, just be zero privacy if everybody can see it anyway. I mean, people stop there all the time and talk, and we're up on our porch. If we have company or whatever, we just can hear it. We're like 20 foot away. So, and about the vehicle traffic and the stop sign, I don't think I've ever seen anybody fully stop there ever. I sit there and watch them.
Okay.
Okay.
All right,
Thank
thank you,
you.
sir. That gentleman at 1336, would you be looking, is this your view at his house? I don't know if we have it up on their board or not.
Can you put the pictures up, Jared?
Is that your view at his house?
No,
Go to the next one, Jared.
I'm further to the right.
To the right?
I actually look directly at his porch,
Okay, so you're
which
just,
he
you're a
does
little
spend a lot
further.
of time on. He has a campfire on there almost every night.
Is
And,
that your house to the right? On this
no,
picture?
no,
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 he's
that's,
on this side of the.
that's on the same side of the street as Knollwood.
Okay.
I'm directly across from that house.
It'd be right where the drive is.
And I look directly at his porch, and a 6-foot fence isn't even gonna, I'm still gonna be able to see his porch from my, from my house.
Okay,
So,
all right, thank you. I just wanted to get a perspective
and
where
as
you
far
were
as
at.
the accident, it was a freak accident this weekend,
That's why they're called accidents.
and, no fence would have stopped this truck from going through it anyway.
Okay,
No,
thank
they-
you very much. Any further audience? Any further questions from the board? Paul, any questions?
I'm good.
Bruce? No. I'll entertain a motion.
I just had a question as far as, is the style of the fence the major issue as far as, I mean, if part of it were, like the top half were see-through and the bottom half were solid to protect the pets and the grandchildren? I don't know if that's a fair question or not, but.
You have to come back up.
Sorry. So the style may be part of it, because, I mean, I don't wanna look at something that's supposed to be 6 foot high, but it's actually 8 foot high, and, as Gordon said, so Jim does spend a lot of time on his deck, like the deck porch. We would still see that completely. So as far as privacy goes for him, it's not a whole lot more private anyhow.
But he was also talking about pets and grandchildren, was he not?
I,
Or did I make
I
that up?
believe he was.
No,
I've
he,
never
yeah, he
seen
said
it,
was also protect the grandchildren.
which I've never
keep
seen,
the pets.
so.
Okay,
I
Thank
mean,
you.
that's for him. But I understand that. I mean, I used to live on Saunders. Like, you do what you did so that you could. But the kind of fencing we even had to have there was, at least open. So I guess, I forget what that type's called, but, the 2 rails, rail fence. So I understand that he wants privacy, but from where we sit, we would just basically see a solid fence. And if for some reason, whether it's him or if they sold the house and somebody else moved in, if it did start to look a little dilapidated, it would be very much right there on the main road. So that's like one of the first things people see when they pull in, to go into the cul-de-sac and to come out. So it's not that I'm opposed to a fence, it's just something that's less solid. So to answer the question, yeah, perhaps if it was a little bit more open at the top. So, and I get it, he used to have a tree there. So tree and with some shrubbery, so you had more privacy there before. But the tree was, I think, kind of overgrown. So, well, not yet, that's what I mean, not now, but he did before, and so he had more stuff there before. So, it's just more like, yeah, the style, that's all.
Thank you.
Okay, I just wanted to address about as far as the fence, if it ages and that, it's gonna look dilapidated. That's 100% not true. It's a vinyl fence. It's a 100-year guarantee on it. And it's a vinyl that doesn't get any kind of mold on it or anything. It'll look, supposedly, it's telling me anyway. They're selling it to me, obviously, but they say no mildew, anything. The inside of it is aluminum, and then the outside it's gonna be almond and khaki colored. And it shouldn't deteriorate over time at all. And the privacy part for us is it'll be 6 foot down by the road, which the people walking there and talking to that, we wouldn't see them. They might be able to, if they're away from the fence, they could look up and see us, but we're not gonna see them when they do their normal everyday walking. So, thank you.
Sir, is there an alternative as far as the type of fence that's available? Where the
Well,
top-
I'm not sure. I think they do have one that has, instead of being solid, it might be like a foot of some kind of pickets that cross
Lattice or
like that
something.
at the top.
Lattice.
lattice, yeah, and I'm not sure that they even offer that, but I know the company makes it, but I mean, they only offer it in white, khaki, and almond. They don't really have a whole lot of options, so, I could look into that, but it's really only about from the 5 foot to 6 foot, maybe 1 foot of the lattice stuff.
I was just trying to look for a compromise as far as seeing if part of the opposition is the solid,
Right.
you know, just a massive fence, as opposed to something having a little more aesthetic appeal.
Right.
Your two neighbors, their basic expression was they see you sitting on your porch. You're not concerned with them seeing you sitting on your porch, right? You're worried about the children and the animals being kept
Well,
in the
that's part
yard.
of it. What else we're gonna do, we're having the porch redone. We're gonna have a piece of fencing that faces the street 5 foot high on our porch, which I don't think there's any problem with the
On the
code with that. The porch is 10 foot, that direction is 10 foot wide. The section's 8 foot, so it'll be 5 foot by 8 there where we normally sit. Then then after that, it'll be railing that matches the fencing. It's khaki and almond, whatever it is, so it all matches. It's not gonna look tacky, and it's not gonna wear in the weather.
Okay,
Okay,
thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
Paul? Hey, Paul, if this is approved, does it have to go to council at all for anything?
No,
So it will come back to you guys, so to review a final anything?
it'll just be for a fence permit.
Okay.
Anything further?
Nope.
I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to approve. Bruce, it is appropriate for me to make just a statement and ask the homeowner to maybe look into the possibility of something more, maybe from the same company, more attractive. I don't know if we can make that part of the,
I think you've said it. I don't
Okay.
know that you can do much more with
Okay.
it. I don't know how enforceable that is.
just trying to keep peace in the neighborhood to see, but I make a motion to approve.
I second that, but also with the option of looking at this a fence that has maybe the lattice on the top.
Okay, motion and seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Your motion is approved. Your application is approved, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, board members. Paul, if you would, please.
Second item tonight is 20-8-A, Denisha Donald. Applicant requests a variance from table 201A, permitted uses of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to operate a child care facility in a residentially zoned area. The property address is 114 Carson Street, tax parcel 743-S-205 in the R2 One Family Residential Zoning District.
Will the applicant come forward, please, and sign in? State your name for the secretary, please.
Yes, Denisha Donald.
Would you raise your right hand, please? You swear the testimony you're about to give in this matter shall be the whole truth and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do. Thank you.
Okay, hi guys.
Present your case.
Hi, my name is Denisha Donald. I moved to Monroeville about 2 years ago now. I'm practically a stay-at-home mom. I have 4 children of my own. I do have a child who has a minor disability, so I am home majority of the time. I was looking to just have under 10, 11 kids in my home for a small child care facility. I already have everything that I would basically need as far as the backyard is concerned. There's a fence already there for play. I did reach out to the neighbors before coming to you guys. I wrote up a basic letter, which you guys do have. Basically, asking them if they would have any issues or concerns with me conducting a child care in my home. The lady directly across the street from me, her name is Donna. We're very friendly. She just basically said that she hoped that she wouldn't have any parking in front of her home or like directly in front of my house, because she could get blocked in. It's a stop sign. Not a lot of people park there, but to take care of her concern, I did let her know that I would have parking just along the side of the home, which is considered virgin. And that the back entrance that you're looking at there is where the parents would bring their children in. I don't look to have as much traffic. I do have a couple of parents who have expressed different times, so I'm not looking at a ton of traffic. Some parents that are on my street have expressed their concern as well, because my house is actually the bus stop. So a lot of kids can get dropped off at my home and come to my home for before or after school care. So this is where we are.
First to Victor Davis Hanson Senior.
Hey Jared, can you zoom in on that satellite image I put on the table there? It just helped illustrate where the parking is going to happen.
Yes.
Can you slide that towards the board members?
Yes.
Look at the screen when you're adjusting it.
Okay. Okay, so Virgin Street here is where the parking would be. So along here and along here, this is the private entrance that I would set for the parents to enter, and then they would come through the backyard here and just come down the stairs into my basement here.
If you slide the image towards me so you can see Carson Street also. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Very good.
That way-
There's
Okay.
nowhere for them to turn around, correct?
Yeah, that's a concern we have is,
Cars on Virgin, they're gonna have to turn around either in that gentleman, whoever that is across the street, their driveway, or they're gonna have to back out onto the road?
Yes. I mean, they could go down and turn around, go down Virgin, and
It dead ends right there, doesn't it?
yeah.
My concern is it's almost a one-way with the dead end, and you're gonna have cars coming in, dropping children off, and you're gonna have cars backing out or trying to turn around to get back out. Are you gonna have your arrivals spaced out where they're
They
not
are
gonna all
going to
arrive
be
at the same
spaced
time?
out. I don't have a lot of parents coming in. A few parents are expressing different times, but I mean, I live here and I have a smaller SUV, and I go down to the bottom and turn around with no problem to
at
get
Virgin
out.
Street.
Yes, on Virgin. There's not, I mean, it looks really, really small, but you can turn around there. If you go to the end here, back up a little bit and turn around, I don't think it's that huge of a concern, but
Now, I noticed you say your business been running since 2015. Is that correct?
no. So, no. So in May of 2015 is when I started to think of this idea.
Okay,
I
okay.
wasn't in Monroeville at the time.
Okay. So you're not running a daycare at all right now?
Oh, no.
Okay.
So targeting an opening date of September of 2020.
Correct.
The two neighbors across on Virgin Street, are they part of the letters in here that? gave their
Connie,
blo-
yes, Connie, which is directly across the street from my home. Tommy and Matt, Connie and Matt, yes, they were. I did talk to, I don't remember her name, but I did talk to the lady in the last house. She said that she didn't have any concerns. She didn't express any concerns to me. Like I said, I gave these letters to everyone on my street and along Virgin Street. So I only got, a text message from the lady directly across the street from me. After delivering these letters, I did check back with them, even though, because she didn't deliver a letter, but I did talk to her, and she did advise that she wasn't opposed to it. She did say that she didn't have any concerns.
Are all your members certified to be involved in this? You have your certification from Pennsylvania?
Well, I would have to get, the occupancy permit that I needed would be the last piece that I would need to certify me, yes.
I think he was
Okay.
asking about your
Clearances
personal
and-
certifications,
Clearances and stuff.
Oh, yes, I have my clearances and everything. Yes.
Are your other family members required to have clearances?
My husband, yes. Anyone over the age of 18, and I do have all of his clearances and his information here as well.
Okay.
And he's certified.
Now, are you gonna have anyone else working with you?
I will not. It'll just be us. You can operate up to 11 children before you need
Assistance.
another adult, which I do have my husband, but I'm not even, I'm looking at having just 8, and I'm looking at having kids just 4 and 5.
So your
No.
husband works at home, or works as, how, may I ask?
He'll be working for Port Authority, and he'll be catching the evening shift, so he'll be home majority of the day.
Okay.
So one of you at a time is gonna be taking care of 8 to 11 enrollees from infancy to kindergarten?
Well, we have to put in our information infantry, but I am looking just to take children who are potty trained and older.
That sounds better.
Yeah.
You mentioned and your package was very complete, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Yes, excellent packet.
When you mentioned about the sleep time, there's no overnight stuff, if you're talking
Oh,
about
I
nap
will
time
not.
or,
No,
Yeah.
no. It's just going to be between 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. No overnights, no weekends, no holidays.
Okay.
So no times that could, cause congestion for my neighbors. Like, on holidays, they'll have company, they'll have other people. I won't have parents around those times coming in or out. So, that shouldn't be a problem. It'll just mainly be a Monday through Friday, mainly during school times.
Is the business, is it gonna be conducted mainly in the basement? Is that where
Yeah,
you're running it?
correct. The backyard, but
Yeah.
yes, correct.
there's a basement exclusively for the daycare?
Yes.
None of your other family members will be
Oh,
going
no.
there for laundry or anything during the,
I completely renovated, or we are renovating now.
Okay.
We have just a few more. So, depending on how the meeting goes, we have someone coming in to put a bathroom down there. So then that way the kids won't have to go upstairs in our home. No one will have to come downstairs for any reason. So that portion, the basement, will mainly be the area. We even have like a small kitchenette set up as well where we'll be preparing meals. I've spoken to the YMCA. They are going to deliver meals to me so I don't have to worry about cooking or utilizing my kitchen. The elementary school closest to me, which is Cleveland Stewart, would be the one who would deliver my meals for my children for breakfast, lunch, and dinner and snack. I have a refrigerator already in my basement, so I'm just having a cabinet put in, and that refrigerator is already there, and it's going to be adjacent to the bathroom, which is going to be closed in. So I thought I did put in a picture. I may have not, but I have one if you want to see it. But it's just a basic map of what it's going to look like when completed, if you want to see that.
That's okay. Paul, do we need the municipality to go in and examine that for code enforcement?
Yes, there will be an occupancy permit for that.
and how about the fire and stuff like that, alarms and?
The building inspector will ensure that everything is up to state codes.
As far as, are there additional state licenses that you need to obtain prior to opening? Insurance, I mean, is it,
So I have all of that. If
Okay.
you guys want to look through this booklet, you can. I have categorized everything I needed to open up. There also is the state requirements in here as well that states what I need, how many adults have to be available per child. I do also have the trainings that's needed here. Everything is here. If you want to take a look at this, that's why I have this book here. So everything is here, basically, that is needed to operate.
you mentioned you have a child who's partially special needs.
Correct.
Is the space fully accessible for special needs?
Well, he has autism. It's a social disability, so I'm home majority of the time in case he'll need to come home because he does school at home for the morning portion of the day, and the only requirement is that a parent be physical in the home. But he's self-sufficient as far as that is concerned. But we actually are looking into him going into school this year for a full day. So he probably will. And he's 15, so he works at the Goodwill. So he's actually doing really good.
My question was more in terms of the clients that you serve.
Uh-huh.
Is your space accessible for, let's say, a special needs client? that
Oh
you have?
yes, if on the picture, if you see, there is a ramp. I
Okay.
have a ramp in my backyard, which is why I felt this idea was great based on the space that I have, because I do have a wheelchair ramp. It's wheelchair accessible that they could get in. So I thought that was great too.
So when do you anticipate having additional staff? When you go above 11, is that the point where you triggers?
When you go above 12, but I just want to have 8, maybe even a little less than that. I really don't want to go up that high. And to be honest, this is very temporary. I want to do this for 3 to 5 years till I get enough money to get a better space. This is not something that I want to do in my home forever, because eventually my children, my husband, that was his man cave, he's going to want his space back. So I'm just looking to do this until I get up enough money to get a building. So it's not something I'm looking to do forever in my home.
You have a list of people already waiting, lined up for this? You know that they're coming?
Correct.
Or they're willing to come?
Yes.
So the advertising flyer that was in our packet, has that been distributed, or are you waiting?
No.
to-
So just
just
word
a
of mouth,
sample?
because my children, all my children, so right now my kids are at a baseball game. So my son plays baseball, my daughter's cheer. We're very involved in a community. They play basketball. My son plays every sport. One is at, karate right now. So it's really just basically talking with people, word of mouth, asking them about it, if they were interested, letting them know that this may be a possibility.
You know the approximate square footage of the space that you have committed to the daycare?
So in the basement, it is 29 by 17. Yeah, so it equals up to about 540, and if you divide that by 40 is the amount of space needed for each child. If you divide it, it gives you 11 children. So it's already been established that I could have 11 in that space. And then the backyard, way bigger than that. I don't even know, but I think in the backyard I could have probably up to 30. But again, it is based on the primary space.
Now, with the backyard and the recess and stuff like that, is there considerations for the neighbors? Are they aware that there will be recess and there'll be?
Absolutely.
kids?
Actually, Connie across the way said, "Oh, I think that'll be great for lunch because we have a gazebo. It's, of course, and it's if you put up there, but we have a gazebo where the kids could eat lunches and everything else like that. But I have kids and they're out there, and sometimes Connie sends her grandchildren over, so I don't think that would be any concern. Our neighbors are very friendly. They love children. Even Donna across the street from me, which is at 111, she's even expressed how, she would like to see more children in the neighborhood and different things like that. So I don't think it would be a disruption.
Now, the elephant in the room is COVID-19 and distancing and all that stuff. Does the 540 square foot provide you with adequate separation of folks?
So yes, in my business plan, I did include what's called interactive stations, and I have 8 of them. So in my basement, I am going to section off interactive spaces for the children so that they all are not always in the same area bunched together. So I have 8 of them for each child. We're going to transition to make sure that they're all going to, and I have 8 because I plan on only having 8 children. So 1 child to each station should definitely keep us distanced.
Those are the electives that you,
Yes. Well, not the electives is, so I would like to also provide some sort of structure. So I put in an elective schedule. Monday we'll learn some gym, Tuesday will be some art, so just some different activities outside of the interactive stations. The interactive stations are things like sensory tables, puzzle tables, block tables, which is in that paperwork as well. So it's just a way to kind of keep the kids divided.
Excellent.
looking at your income statement, a line item I did not see for taxes, municipal taxes or anything, is that?
Well, so because that's something that you pay the year after, which would be next year, I don't have, my accountant didn't put that in
Okay.
because it is based on what you make.
what you hope to make.
Correct.
Okay, is that all you have for a presentation?
Yes, sir.
Are there any more questions here?
No, I just make a comment. I love your plan. My concern would be that being in a residential area. However, typically we would get folks that would say, we're in opposition, you've done the legwork saying we're in favor. That's great for the folks that are living there now, but somebody moving in, not aware that that's happening, and they assume they're moving into a residential area, that causes me some concern, but.
But I mean, again, I definitely am always considerate of my neighbors. I asked my neighbors last year, way before I even considered doing this, before I started doing any of the legwork, I asked them, which if we get some new neighbors in the neighborhood, I would be willing to address their concerns as well. This is just temporary until I get enough money to get a building or to, you know, get something outside of that. So I'm not looking to do this forever. This is just, I'm really saying 5 tops. So I'm really not looking to do this forever. So I don't think it's something that would be any concern for anyone moving in.
Okay, Gary?
Yeah, I'm just looking at some other notes, but go ahead.
Go ahead. No, no.
You'll do the temperature checks and
Absolutely.
hand
Absolutely.
sanitizing and stuff? Okay.
Yes, correct.
Okay.
Anybody else have questions? Larry?
I'm good.
Paul?
I'm
Bruce? You on target with this?
Yes.
One of the better presentations.
Yes.
Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
As he was just saying, I'm really concerned about, one thing is I'm concerned about the park and then dropping off the kids and this Virgin Street, so, as of right now, I'm gonna say no.
Gary, if you still have questions on this, I still have a couple of questions on this. Bruce, we are allowed to postpone a decision on this?
You have 45 days from today to make a decision.
Okay, and we can notify her in writing?
Yes.
Okay. And, would that be all right with you? Would that be substantial
I'm fine
time?
with that.
Yeah, I'm,
Satisfactory with you, Gary?
currently I'm in favor of going ahead with the project. I have some doubts, but I think you've done an excellent job as far as preparing for what you want to do, and
All right, so right now you have 1 vote for, 1 vote against.
But there was no
there
motion.
was no second.
There was no motion.
Oh, I know, I understand it, but they're
Okay,
they're offering, or they're telegraphing where they're at.
okay.
And Jim, if you want to, anybody can make a motion to approve or disapprove.
To tell you the truth, I was against this from the beginning, because we just had a couple of these and we turned them down because it's
Okay.
residential.
Okay.
I was impressed by the package that you delivered to us, and I've been impressed by your presentation this evening. My concern goes along with Gary, what happens if somebody else moves in there and doesn't realize that's there, or it may hurt somebody from moving in there, they don't want to buy the house next door or whatever. I understand where you're coming from with that your neighbors accept it now.
Let me just interject one thing. If there is trouble with neighbors in the future, a neighbor can apply to the municipality or to the local district judge
Correct.
and ask and indicate that there's a nuisance, and that could be another action brought, but I just want you to know those are things that happen in neighborhoods.
So I was gonna say, I did read that if there starts to be a nuisance at any point, that they can bring forward to the board, but I am completely open as well, with them coming to me and saying, this is an issue and this is a concern. I have no problems correcting or changing locations at any time. So I just think that for the time being, while I have the space, the gate, the fence up. You know, I just felt that this would be a good time. But if years down the line, 2 or 3 years, someone else moves in and they state that this is a concern, I can definitely hope to have at least enough money to put down on a building moving forward or to move, because I don't want to inconvenience anyone. I don't want anyone to feel uncomfortable in the space that they're in. When I spoke to my neighbors, they definitely expressed that this is something that could even help them, especially the lady down the road. She has a daughter and she works the library sometimes, so it'd be nice for her to bring her child to a before care so that she can get where she needs to earlier, because they all stand at my house for the bus stop. So I just feel like it's something that can be more of a help to the neighborhood than a nuisance. But
You understand, as Bruce said, it only takes one person to complain.
oh, absolutely,
One person to come
absolutely,
before us.
absolutely. And I did read over that you know, at any given time, if a person was to come and say that this was a nuisance, you guys could ask me to shut down based on what's happening. So I'm aware of that as well.
Okay, that being said, I'd like to make a motion for a continuance.
Is there a second?
Is there a second for a continuance?
I'll second that.
Okay.
All in
You underst-
favor?
You understand, we're not saying no, we're not saying yes, we're gonna discuss this a little bit further.
Okay.
All those in favor of the motion signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Opposed.
Okay, one opposed. Okay, the motion carries. We will have a continuance. We will be in touch with you.
Okay.
Let's just do this. Paul, when's our next meeting?
August.
First Wednesday in August. I think it's August 5th, actually.
Yep.
August 5th. So on
Yeah,
August
August
5th is the date you should come back here.
Okay.
You may have to answer a few more questions, but you won't have, she won't have to make any more further presentation,
No,
correct?
no,
Okay.
not unless you ask her to.
No,
No, she did a fantastic job with it.
Thank you.
fantastic.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right. Thank you.
We will
guys.
be in touch.
Thank you.
We'll see you on August.
Yep.
Thank
Okay.
you. Same time, 7:30.
Yes.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay, Paul, we don't have a third person here in the audience this evening?
It-
Applicant?
It appears he is not here.
Okay, what do we do this? Let's just set it aside, or?
Well, you could act on it, you could continue it, you could act to approve or disapprove or continue it, so you have 3 options. Now, he paid $500 to get here?
I think it's only 100 for the dimensional variance.
And you haven't heard anything from him?
From him or any resident, no.
Well,
And this is the case where the fence has already been erected.
Correct.
Yes.
He's been
okay.
cited as far as being out of compliance, and
Correct.
again, the fencing company didn't do anything to help him out, apparently, saying you need particular variances or permits to get this fence erected.
It would appear that way.
Okay.
Well, under those circumstances, I would suggest to you that a motion to deny would be in order. Because if he cared about this at all, he should have been here, or given Paul a note that he went to the hospital or something.
Okay.
My only concern is if it's denied
He has to start over then.
with another application.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cost him another $100.
Okay.
I mean, this is his time.
Sounds
I mean,
logical, yeah, this is his time we're on right now. Okay, I'll entertain a motion.
Should
To deny.
Should we read the description into the record?
Yeah, let's do that.
Go ahead, if you would.
Okay, the third and final item, 20-9-A, Sheldon Oliver. Applicant requests a variance from section 210 fences of the Monroeville zoning ordinance number 1443 as amended to construct a 6-foot tall solid fence in the front yards of the property that faces Saunders Station Road, York Lane, and Bel Air Drive. The property address is 100 Bel Air Drive, tax parcel 1109-E-008 in the S Conservancy zoning district.
Thank you, Paul. Seeing that there is no applicant present, I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion to deny.
I second.
Motion to deny has been seconded. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Mr. Oliver's been denied.
Just as an aside, Paul, I mean, we know he knew this was the night to be here. Does he serve with some sort of,
Yes, I had talked to him, he was notified of the meeting. You know, he submitted the application.
we send out a notice by certified mail that this is the night and time for his presentation?
Not certified mail.
But is there a letter out sent to him?
Yes.
Okay, the only caveat I would make, he's denied right now. You can always reconsider this within 45 days if he comes back in and says, I didn't get notice of the hearing. But that would be really contrary to what Paul's already said, i.e. that he's told him physically, personally, so. That's what I would, that's it. So the record shows that.
Okay. You have that, Sharon? Okay, the record's going to show it. We'll entertain one more motion.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Second?
Motion to adjourn. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Meeting is adjourned. Thank you.